On April 11, 1944, while piloting his B-17 named Bertie Lee on a heavy bombardment mission over Germany, First Lieutenant Edward Michael and his crew came under fierce attack. A swarm of enemy fighters targeted their bomber, ignoring the Allied fighter escort and tearing through flak to press their relentless assault. The B-17 was hammered from nose to tail by cannon fire, knocked out of formation, and chased by multiple fighters as it descended under heavy fire. In the chaos, a shell exploded in the cockpit, wounding the copilot, destroying key instruments, and shattering a side window. Lieutenant Michael himself suffered a severe wound to his right thigh. With hydraulic fluid smearing the windshield and smoke filling the cockpit, the aircraft's controls became unresponsive, causing a 3,000-foot drop before Lieutenant Michael managed to level the plane. Moments later, the radio operator reported that the bomb bay was in flames. 3 shells had ignited the incendiary bombs on board, creating a high risk of explosion. When the emergency bomb release failed, Lieutenant Michael ordered his crew to bail out. 7 of the 10 men escaped, but as he checked on the remaining crew, he found the bombardier still at his post, firing the navigator's gun at the enemy fighters. When ordered to jump, the bombardier discovered his parachute was shredded by 20mm shell fragments, rendering it useless. Realizing that abandoning the plane would doom the bombardier, Lieutenant Michael decided their only chance was to attempt a crash landing. Ignoring his own excruciating wound, Lieutenant Michael fought to keep the damaged aircraft airborne. He maneuvered violently to evade enemy fighters, enduring nearly 45 minutes of relentless attacks. Finally, he lost the pursuers by diving into a cloud bank, only to emerge into a barrage of flak. Forced to fly at treetop level, Lieutenant Michael continued toward France, determined to cover as much ground as possible to give his crew the best chance of escape if they had to ditch the aircraft. Despite losing blood rapidly, Lieutenant Michael stayed at the controls until he passed out. The co-pilot managed to guide the plane across the channel and locate an RAF airfield near the English coast. Just as they approached for landing, Lieutenant Michael regained consciousness and insisted on retaking the controls. With the landing gear destroyed, bomb bay doors jammed open, hydraulics out, and critical instruments like the altimeter and airspeed indicator unusable, the odds of a safe landing seemed impossible. The ball turret was locked with its guns pointing down, and the flaps wouldn't respond. Even so, Lieutenant Michael pulled off an extraordinary landing, bringing the battered B-17 down without further incident. All 7 of the crew members who bailed from the bomber were captured and held as POWs by the Germans. Lieutenant Edward Michael survived, and for his actions that saved 2 crew members, he was awarded the Medal of Honor.